and the elevators weren't quick enough. It seemed like we had been down there forever, and there's this dude next to me. I believe his name is Richard. And one of us says, want to take the stairs. Probably me, I guess, because I like talking to strangers and I take the stairs down every day, not up. What are you, crazy? So we go around to the stairs, and this guy, I said, all right, man, you ready to go? And I don't know if he took that as some kind of challenge.
Oh, like a race.
Or he's just a berserker. But he takes off. Not just doing 2 steps at a time, but doing 2 steps at a time really fast as well. He's gone. I'm still thinking, what's this guy running from? Is he a fugitive? And I'm just kind of standing there. I never catch up to him. He's gone, but he pops out, I think, on the 3rd floor and says something to the effect of, what took you? And I said, age. That's what took me. Why do you want to shame me? And he says, I'm 56.
Oh.
I thought he was a child. He's in really good shape. He's a handsome, bald dude like you, Paul.
Yeah.
But he looks 36. And I don't know. So I said, thanks for making me feel bad about myself. And he said, oh, no, and I don't know exactly what this meant. He looked at his phone. He grabbed his hand on the door handle of the floor he was going to, and he said, oh, no, man. I got an alarm. And then he went away, and I'm thinking, are you a fireman? You don't have any equipment. I'm pretty mad at you for making me feel bad about myself at 5:13 in the morning. So that's how my life started. The reason I said there's a chance that I'm the bad guy, because I'm not. I'm a nice guy. People like me. I like people. But I think I have a negative outlook more often than would be appropriate. I was walking with Amy downtown. There was a building, and you couldn't tell what kind of building, because they're all being reconstructed and repurposed. Mm-hmm. It looked like it used to be a home for wayward somebodies, but now is going to be condominiums. But there's just really no way to tell. But on the side of the building, and huge, it's a big picture, 3 floors. It says on top of it, in a circle, it says, diversity is a gift. And underneath that, it says, shine and let shine. And I say, well, I disagree with at least half of that. And Amy says, how can you disagree with that? It's a positive message. How is there anything to disagree with there? And I said, the diversity is a gift thing. I wouldn't put it on my wall, but it's true. Certainly, that's what makes our town interesting and getting more interesting every day is that there's all sorts of different people, gay, straight, black, white. I didn't mean that at all. But what I said was shine and let shine. I don't believe it. Somebody has to not shine. We can't all shine.
Yeah, it would be blinding.
Exactly. Somebody's got to kind of not be great so that we can be great. We can't all be great. What would we be?
Yeah.
So I started listing people that would never be great. And when I got down to like a 9-year-old, I think that's when she said, you're a terrible person. But I stand by my not everybody. Like, this is the way I put it to Amy, where she almost understood it, but she was so busy hating me by that point. I said, not everybody can be in the band. Somebody's got to be in the audience. And so she kind of like didn't come over to the dark side with me saying half the world is, I don't want to say stupid, but I'd be right. But I stand by it. I know I'm kind of a negative dude in that sense, but I feel like not everybody is supposed to shine. And then I went out to dinner with my lovely wife, a place she's been dying to take me. We're all confident that you have been there, Sarah, and now I can't remember the name. It specializes downtown, specializes in hand rolls. That's all they do.
Specializes in hand rolls?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know, but I need to go there.
Okay. It's so good. I'll look up the name. It's on my phone, I'm sure. I'll tell you. It was really, really good. Now, here is where I get nervous about, not my behavior. I didn't do much, but just my attitude. So all they do is they roll up these hand rolls like a cigar. They're not a cone, and they take the guy seconds to make. The place is packed. It's kind of an awesome experience, and everybody gets the same 5 things. I'll have the tuna, I'll have the octopus, whatever it is. There's like 5 or 6 choices of hand rolls that you can get. And there's 20 people sitting in a U. So I noticed that Amy's hand roll seems to be bigger than mine.
Uh-oh.
But, that's kind of cool. It's where, she got a deal or whatever. Then I notice when I say thank you to the sushi guy, he doesn't say anything to me. But when Amy says thank you, he says, you are so welcome.
Oh.
Really? Why, yeah. Why is my wife so welcome and I'm not welcome? So then, now nothing has been said to anybody, But then I notice they're getting like bigger and he's handing her, like ham hocks of, I don't even know if that's a thing, but he's handing her big, gigantic, like if the one I'm buying was $7, the one she's getting is $20 and she's paying $7. And there's some kind of reason for this.
He's flirting a little bit, it sounds like.
A little bit. If it weren't for sushi knives, I would have had my way with him. I'm positive that's not what I meant, but you know what I meant.
Yeah.
But so I just feel like I was the negative guy all day yesterday. I'll give you one more. I saw it this morning. I got here a little bit early because of my race with that Richard dude. I'm scrolling through the news on my phone, which is fun, and I do it every morning now if I have the time. And I'm looking. And one of my favorite country artists, his name is Thomas Rhett. Either of you guys know him?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a huge star, and I'll tell you why I know he's a big star, because I know his first and last name. He's like the athlete of country music. If you're Tom Brady and I know both your names, it's because you're huge. So I don't really know his songs that well, although there's a couple that I liked, I just can't remember. Anyway, here's the story. Here's the feel-good story, is Thomas Rhett with his 2.5-year-old daughter. I'll call her Lisa, but it was a more exotic name than that. I just don't remember it. Thomas Rhett, country star, with his daughter, his 2.5-year-old daughter, Lisa. And he says, she's already having full conversations, and she's way smarter than me. That's what you want to say? You're not as smart as a 2.5-year-old? There was a show called Not as Smart as a Fifth Grader, and only lasted 2 seasons because it was stupid. But Tom, and I've heard it before. Oh, this is little Jimmy. He's 3 years old, but he's already way smarter than me. I think Kimmel's kid is smarter than him. Everybody's kid. It's like, then why don't they have jobs? Why don't they go somewhere and pay for whatever baby food they're eating today out of that silver spoon that I put in their mouth? So I'm slightly offended that 2.5-year-olds. It's not just Thomas Rhett. It's literally dozens of celebrities, and then also neighbors. I lived in suburbia for a while, and my neighbors started having babies, and literally they'd stop breastfeeding for a couple of minutes, and they'd say, well, they're already smarter than me. I breastfed till I was 17. What? What is wrong with you? Why would you ever do something like that? So I've taken exceptional calls, but I just want you to know that I'm going to go out of my way to be a more fun-loving, uplifting, and optimistic guy. Okay, you bastard? Now see, I'm already failing.
Yesterday, the Seattle City Council unanimously confirmed the appointment of Carmen Best to be the police chief by a vote of 8-0. Now, the big stunner when it came to the vote was that council member Sawant voted yes. Now, when it came to the last vote with Kathleen O'Toole, she voted against that woman who was our police chief. And so a lot of people said she's probably just going to be contrary and vote against this woman just because she can.
Oh.
And she didn't.
No, I didn't see it. I saw a qualified African-American that had been passed over once. I think, not career suicide woman with this councilwoman, Sawant, because I've seen a couple of her votes. I shouldn't base my whole opinion on them. But she's not my cup of tea, but I don't think she's a full-on idiot. There's no reason to vote against this lady just to show off.
Yeah, well, she didn't. 8-0. And she does become the first woman of color to be the head of the Seattle Police Department. And Sawant said that she is supporting people who are the best candidate, and she does believe, as everyone else on the city council did, she was the best candidate.
Yeah, as everybody I've spoken to, and I don't go around talking about this stuff with people, but I've mentioned, it's been mentioned in conversation, and everybody seems to like this lady, that think and respect her and think she's going to be great. So let's go get it.
A man was hospitalized after he nearly drowned off the waters off of Harbor Island, but is still alive this morning thanks to a quick-thinking worker at the Port of Seattle terminals. Medics and a fireboat were called to Terminal 18 at Harbor Island for reports of a person in the water and that a person had jumped in to help him. A man in his 30s had been working on a cargo ship at the port. He fell into the water and was in distress. An operations manager with Marine Terminal 18 heard that person and jumped in to save him.
Wow.
At one point, the drowning man went under the water, and the Good Samaritan had dove under to get him back above water. Now, as you can imagine, Danny, this is dangerous, just period, but the water is about 53 degrees.
Yeah, everything about it is rough. There's that old thing where be very careful rescuing some guy because they will drown you and attempt not to drown themselves.
Yeah.
And I know this is a weird little detail to decide how these guys are dressed, but I've got at least one of them in serious lace-up work boots, and you cannot propel yourself forward in that. That's not a great way to be in the water. You know, you need certain things that only either skin or a wetsuit or a wet sock will do for you. I think being in those work boots in the water while freezing, everything about that sounds terrible.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that the guy was probably wearing, regular jeans and everything else that was going to weigh him down.
Yep, going to soak him down. The reason I was so fast about the work boots, you can imagine that I have on 50 different occasions jumped off something stupid into something stupid while dressed stupidly. So I have an idea. Like my cowboy boots, when they would fill up with water, every time I think, well, this was a mistake, but sure enough, I would do it again.
And this morning, a car slammed into barriers outside of Britain's Houses of Parliament, injuring at least 2 pedestrians. A male driver has been arrested on suspicion of terrorism. Witnesses saw this car careen towards people, said it definitely was intentional. 2 people were taken to the hospital. Now, police in London say that this suspect was arrested quickly, but he is not cooperating with police. Now, they haven't identified him yet, and they do believe it was terrorism. However, there wasn't anything in his car. So no weapons.
No explosives or anything
No
like that.
explosives, no notes
Nope.
saying I'm doing this for this reason or anything like that. I think he should be charged with bad terrorism. He injured a couple of people that weren't even in anything. They weren't in a car. They weren't in anywhere place important. They were just walking. What an ineffective terrorist.
And the Houses of Parliament are currently, like our Supreme Court takes a summer off. There's nobody there. So,
Yeah, bad terrorist.
which is a
By
good
the way,
thing.
does anybody else smell a sitcom here? Bad terrorist. Oh, be affable. Get somebody like James Belushi to play it. Oh, it'll be hysterical.
But I prefer.
No, that guy from The Big Bang.
Oh yeah, I prefer that my terrorists be ineffective. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it'd still be adorable.
Yeah.
And some sad news to report this morning. Authorities say a Utah firefighter has died battling the largest recorded blaze in California history. Authorities say the man died last night at a hospital after he had been injured at the site of the Mendocino complex fire north of San Francisco.
I was thinking, boy, you're right. It's a giant fire if it killed a fireman in Utah. That's a guy out here that the fires are so big, we need volunteers from other communities, right?
Yeah, I think that Mendocino complex fire, they have people from 19, 20 different states that are fighting it. They've got firefighters from other countries that have come in to volunteer to help.
Including our own, which is
our own state, yeah.
Yeah, so people from Washington have gone down to help, which is wild because we have fires raging here.
Yeah.
And because of the fires here in Washington and the fires north in British Columbia, we are going to continue to have really smoky, hazy skies with very poor air quality. So, Danny, this is another one of those times where experts say, check on your neighbors. Now, I know it didn't go that well last time.
It didn't. They wanted to know what the hell I wanted. Hi, I'm here because you're 100 years old and it's 90 out. I'm here to rescue you. And they just didn't see it.
Yeah, before it was because it was really hot. Now it's hazy. You're supposed to just go check on their view.
Come on, let me see out your windows, Paul.
Well, anyone who has some breathing issues, asthma, or if
Breathing issues?
breathing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, it's difficult to get air.
According to Tesla CEO Elon Musk, Saudi Arabia's sovereign wealth fund would be the main source of money for him to take the company private.
He's still saying this
Super
stuff.
weird.
He's still saying this stuff publicly?
Yes.
Oh, man, come on. He's got a bunch of lawsuits already going because you can't just make those public statements like that.
It's actually worse than that.
You're no billionaire at all unless you've got 9 lawsuits going against you at any given moment. I don't give that a lot of credence, but it's weird about him. But why Saudi Arabia? How do they make their money?
Oil.
And how does that car run?
and less oil.
Doesn't that seem weird to you guys?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah,
I mean,
they're looking
they've
to
got to be
diversify.
grasping. They've got to be grasping the future now. They've got to be saying 10 years from now, 20 years from now, our entire method of wealth is going to be passé. So maybe that's it.
Now, as Paul said, he shouldn't be saying all this in public. It's not lawsuits. It's actually the SEC investigating him because of his tweets last week. They said that the problem is that he is acting like this is done already, like that he has already been talking with people, which is against the law. So the tweet has been deemed by regulators to be a factual statement. If it is such, then he is going to continue to be investigated by the United States Securities and Exchange Commission for securities fraud.
Yeah, there's a lot of that going on right now, insider trading and the like. I was going to say I don't smell criminal intent in any way, shape, or form, but, I smell a smoke around here anyway, so I don't know what this guy is up to.
So funding from the deal would come from the ultra-conservative kingdom's Public Investment Fund, which is one of the world's largest sovereign wealth funds. Founded in 1971, this fund has $250 billion worth of investments across the world. And where they do all this investing is actually based in Las Vegas, which is also super weird.
Do they... let's see. And what does it take for Musk's thing that he wants to take it public? Is it $8 billion or $85 billion?
Oh, gosh, I can't remember the number.
But it's something that begins with an 8 and ends in billion. But I didn't know that they had that much money. I didn't know anybody had that much money in one place. I realize that's several people. It's an investing pool. But what a weird thing to have oil countries back in the energy efficient guy.
Yeah. One of the big investments from this sovereign fund is Uber. So, I guess they really are just looking to diversify, and Tesla should be earning money, as we know they are not and have not.
Yeah, which I don't get, but, we've talked about this before. I have a black thumb when it comes to business. I've invested in probably 4 businesses, 2 of which were restaurants. One was a gym, and I forget it. But they folded... Literally, it felt like within hours, but within 3 months, everything I ever touched as an investor died.
Okay, so I just put in a call to Elon Musk and asked him not to accept any of your money.
All right, good.
He's not
very smart.
If you had it, it turns out the valuation to take that company private would be around $71 billion. So if you had that, Danny, and you were looking to invest, and now apparently he's not going to take it because Sarah told him not to.
Yep, sorry. I put in that call to my buddy E.
If I was looking to invest and make money, I wouldn't do it. I don't think he's going to make money quickly, and I'm getting older by the second. I had a birthday yesterday, and I just don't think he's going to turn a profit in the next 10 years. In the next 10 years, I'm going to be very close to 70 years old. What am I going to do with a lot of money? Nice.
Text that word right now to 200-200 for your chance to win the trip.
Danny, if you are looking to diversify and perhaps would like to think of another career, I have a job for you.
What the hell are you trying to say?
If you are looking to diversify, I said, wanted another job.
Looking for another career.
4 hours a day.
An additional career. Second career.
Additional
Not too late now. The damage is done.
There is a job for you, somebody listening, on a Greek island to be the cat taker.
Oh, this is a job for me. You were right. I apologize. Where do I get my ticket?
This is a nonprofit called God's Little People Cat Rescue.
Wait, do they rescue just cats, or is it cats and little people?
It's just cats.
It's cats and dwarves. That's what it is. God's little people. They get stuck on these Greek islands because they don't know how to sail, and then somebody has to come save them.
It's on the.
And none of them can reach the mizzen mast.
That's right.
It's on the Greek island of Syros, and they are looking for a caretaker. Now, Danny, you've been to Greece. You've been to several European countries, and notice there are a lot of cats who are cared for, but they live outdoors.
My favorite, well, I don't know if it's my favorite because it's of me, but one of my favorite pictures in my magic picture frame that just rolled by are me and the cats in Greece. And they're just so friendly. And here's a cat you never met before, and as a joke, you go high five and put your hand up. Damn, if the little crazy cat doesn't high five you right then and there. Eat food right out of your mouth. They're awesome.
Well, you're going to get a house to live in with a complete direct view of the Aegean Sea.
Do I get a little person or not?
You're just taking care of cats.
Oh, you have to bring your own little people?
Of course. What is a trip to Lesbos, wherever I'm going without a little person?
And you'll have to take care of the 60 cats that live on this little island.
Done.
It sounds pretty fantastic, right?
Sounds couldn't be more awesome unless there's poop picking up, and then that's 60 cats. But they're out in the wild, right?
They're out in the wild. They'd probably bury it.
Yeah, there's like a beach there. They just bury it in the sand.
Ew.
Do they go down like those crazy cows, and do they go and get in the water to cool off?
Quite possibly.
All right. Anyway, I love me some cats, and I would do this.
All right, I'll send you the website.
Thank you.
An Ohio teacher has broken a world record when he rowed across the Atlantic Ocean from Canada to England in under 40 days.
Jeez.
This guy is a Cincinnati high school teacher, and he was using the summertime. Obviously, teachers are off for the summer.
I thought he broke the world record of still being a teacher in Ohio.
He did a 2,000-mile rowing trip from Newfoundland to St. Mary's, England, in 38 days, 6 hours, 49 minutes. The previous record was 53 days. So he said that he did tip over several times. He said that he has like a really sore tailbone from sitting.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of his capsizes, he said, was pretty traumatic, and he's like bruised, and he's lost a lot of weight, like 15 pounds.
Yeah, I don't know the rules on this. Does he have to stay in the boat like the swimmers?
Yes.
Diane, whatever her name is, she can't even touch a boat or your hand. You have to throw stuff to her. She can't touch anything. Does this guy have to stay in the boat day and night?
He does, and it was unassisted. So he said you break it up into chunks of like 30 minutes. So you only sleep for 30 minutes and you row the entire time.
Wow. That sounds seem fairly stupid.
It does.
I do think so, yes.
Because we have motors. There's no reason to do that anymore.
Yeah.
40 days in a rowboat. What are you, Noah?
Well, and I remember when you wanted to break a world record, Danny, and you looked at some of the stuff that you figured you could do. None of them were stupid like this.
No, some were stupid in a totally different way.
Yeah, putting the coins up your nose, maybe that was a little dumb, but
Yeah, but that's over in, what, a minute? You're not spending
Well,
50 days of your life on it.
true.
It's about 1 minute to get 8 coins up your nose. It was about close to an hour to get them all out. While we're all discussing the merits of calling an ambulance, like, am I going to die? I can hear your head rattling. That was one of the more stupid things I did.
Arizona has a stupid motorist law. It's true.
Like, awesome.
Yep. And they don't normally enforce it until this past weekend. We've had a lot of big time rains falling across the country. And in Arizona, when it rains, it pours. No, but it rains with such velocity and it's ferocious, and it can sweep, people's
Flash floods.
Flash floods, yeah, it can sweep people's belongings away. Well, this dude decided that he was close to home and was going to cross a road even though it was flooded. Even though there were barricades saying, do not cross this road, it's flooded. He's like, well, I live just right over there. But then he realized that the tires were underwater, and then he realized he was underwater, stalled, needed to be towed.
Yeah.
When the police arrived to tow him, they also gave him 4 tickets under Arizona's stupid motorist law.
All right, now that's interesting to me. What were the charges?
Being stupid.
4 times?
Now, is that for real? Is that what they write on the ticket? I don't think so, but I like the stupid motorist thing. How is it different from a regular ticket?
Because he ignored the barricades, and you're not supposed to, it's pretty black and white. You're not supposed to drive your car into a flood.
All right. So basically, it's an acknowledgement of idiocy, because I don't know what time, day or night, to ignore barriers and go through a flooded road isn't illegal for everyone. What happens is you go from regular guy to idiot and get the idiot ticket. I like it. I'm a fan of it. Now that Sheriff Arpaio is no longer the sheriff of Maricopa County, where I happen to have the pleasure of being a guest for an afternoon, he's out now. And he just got tricked by Sacha Baron Cohen as well as the other guys.
Yeah.
Sheriff Joe, the most dangerous guy, gun-wielding, tough sheriff, admitted to Sacha Baron Cohen that he would be willing to receive certain sex acts from President Donald Trump. How does this guy get these people to say this stuff?
I cannot think who the politician was, but just 2 days ago, he got somebody to put something in his mouth that had no business going there. And he's tricking.
Is it dirty? Is that why you can't say it?
Yeah. A marital
he put
aid.
something. Oh, okay.
On television, like every single week, Sacha Baron Cohen is tricking 5 to 10 people who should know better, including
Per
Sheriff
show?
Joe. What?
Per show?
Yes. Per show.
Wow. I can't bring myself to watch it, but I'm now curious.
It makes me uncomfortable, and I can't bring myself not to watch it.
Right.
Well, if you are disgruntled at your job, typically you complain to the boss.
Not me. I go to Cat Island in Greece.
Well, one man was pretty angry that he hadn't been paid for his construction work. He helped to build a bunch of new cottages, really, really pretty little cottages in England. And they had just been completed. And this dude waited for his check to show up. Didn't show up. He went to the bosses and they said, yeah, we're working on it. Well, it didn't work fast enough. And he decided to get himself into a digger, go over to the homes, like with that giant claw.
Okay, yeah.
Sure.
And giant claw all those pretty little cottages into nothing.
Wow. I bet this is going to cost him $1 or $2.
They said he was very calm and explained why he did it. He got out of the digger and said, okay, I'm done. I just, I needed to take care of this because I haven't been paid. You can take me away in cuffs now.
Well, he's not going to get paid now.
No, he's
Well-
most certainly not going to be. But there's part of me, if it goes just the way Sarah said, and I don't see any reason that it shouldn't, that guy felt that it was the appropriate punishment to the cottage builders. He knew he was going to get arrested. He knew he wasn't going to get paid. And he said, this is my stand. This is where I'm going to take my stand. And he took it in a digger. And you know what? I kind of admire the guy.
Yeah, I think that I'm with you. The people who were about to move in don't really agree with us. They're not real
No,
happy.
I see your point.
How about some good news in the news, my friends?
Love that.
Well, we are finding out that 7-Eleven has decided to do a 2-for-1 Slurpee.
Nice.
So this is something getting ready for the new school year, and they're trying to kind of celebrate, with kids that the summer is almost over. So they are going to be offering 2-for-1. You buy one Slurpee, any size, and you get a second one totally free.
Cool. Regular Coke and cherry. That's where I'm going.
Oh, I go cherry, blue, raspberry.
Oh, blue
Yeah, I
raspberry.
don't love the blue. I don't love any raspberry that much except actual raspberries, and they're about a 6.
Well, they actually have a brand new flavor, Captain Crunch Berries.
Yep, winner.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll go after the show, and we have an odd number of people, but we'll go after the show and we'll buy one, get one.
Yeah, that sounds
I think
fun.
we should buy 2, get 2, and if somebody else doesn't show up, I get 2.
Yeah.
Fair enough. It's time for today's Things Are Not Right in Florida Star of the Day.
Yay.
Yay.
I don't know what just happened. A 20-year-old
Puberty.
A 20-year-old Florida man is accused of screaming profanities at deputies after leading them on a high-speed pursuit. Gregory,
See, that's where we part company. When my high-speed pursuit was over, I said, oh, I'm really sorry, sir. And he said, okay, put your hands behind your back and shut up. And I did, and we were all friends.
well, this dude was 20 years old. Gregory Johnson was going 94 miles an hour. And he was wearing, when the police actually pulled him over, turns out he was wearing pajamas. He smelled of alcohol. He was a mess. And he said, Tito's got me messed up. And it turns out he had a bottle of Tito's. Blamed the whole thing on Tito.
Can't blame Tito.
Yeah, sure.
Can't blame Tito. That's one of the best vodkas out there.
The other Jacksons had alibis.
He was arrested with DUI, reckless driving, possession of marijuana. Oh, yeah, and you can't drink if you are under the age of 21.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, he's a kid, too. Yeah,
Yeah.
shame on you, shame on your mom, shame on your house.
not even in Florida.
No, your house, I got that from Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
You brought shame on our house.
Oh, Florida.
Oh, Florida.
Florida.
Hey, when we come back in music news, we've got an update to the future of the Showbox. And in entertainment news, a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Thank you. I've been
Congratulations.
patient long enough.
Well, one was announced yesterday. We'll tell you who and when. And you guys listening, would you like to win Mariners tickets? You can next from 102.5 KZOK. In music news, Seattle's legendary Showbox Theater is safe from the wrecking ball, at least temporarily.
I was going to say, no way that it's just this fast saved. It would be nice if it was, but nothing in government moves that fast.
Well, there was a vote put to the city council, and they approved a measure 8-0 to include the Showbox in Pike Place Market's historic district, which will temporarily stop plans to construct a 44-story building on that site by a Vancouver, British Columbia development company called the Ani Group. Supporters say this gives them 10 months to come up with a solid plan to help save the Showbox.
Wow, when you're talking against that kind of progress, let's just say it's 300 condo units, forgetting the retail. Nothing's less than $1 million down in that neighborhood. So now you got, $300 million to start is the value of building. But I don't see why they can't build on top of it. But the noise of a functioning nightclub on the bottom floor of condos would be bad.
It might be $300 million, but those memories are priceless. That's what you're going up against.
Most people that are left the Showbox don't remember what they did when they got there.
It's true.
Well, the group trying to save the Showbox is led by Ben Gibbard of Death Cab for Cutie, Duff McKagan of Guns N' Roses, Macklemore, and Mike McCready from Pearl Jam. They've gotten thousands of signatures, and right now they have halted construction, but the group, the Omni Group out of BC, is likely going to try to come up with a plan to continue to build, like you said, Danny, build around it. But what about the sound? Like the next step for this development group?
I think I said it early on, they are going to save the facade. Everything else is going to be brand new, but outside the building, whether it's your condo or a new cheesecake factory, whatever it's going to be, it's going to have that billboard for the Showbox. And I think it's kind of cool.
John Mayer's home has reportedly been burglarized. The singer's Beverly Hills home was broken into. An intruder smashed a bedroom window. And according to LAPD, he was not at home at the time, but what was stolen appears to be about $200,000 worth of music equipment, some of his watches from his extensive watch collection. A security guard looking at the perimeter of the place noticed a broken window, called police. Nobody is in custody.
Wow, because I was going to say, nobody breaks windows anymore in these days of electronics and things like that. They find some other much more subtle way in and or out. But if this guy knew, I want John Mayer's watches, because I don't know much about John Mayer, but I did know he collected watches. So if you know where they are, you just bust through them, get them, and you're gone. Maybe you're not as stupid as I thought you were.
Well, and he's only owned this home since May, so it does sound like he was targeted.
Yeah. If I'm the criminal, I think it's time to get a new career. Get it? Time? Because he stole watches? Thank you. On the face of it, get it? Because watches have faces. My hands are up. Get it? Watches have hands. Wow, I didn't know I could do this, but I'll stop.
Iron Maiden frontman Bruce Dickinson was among hundreds of people who were at the unveiling of a gravestone marking the exact resting place of artist and poet William Blake, nearly 200 years after his death. So this dude died in obscurity, 1827, was buried in an unmarked common grave in London. And a lot of people said, this is tragic. This is an amazing artist and poet. Let's make sure that he is commemorated the way he should be.
It's weird because I fancy myself informed on this, and I've read some Blake, mostly to impress some girl, but still I've read it. I thought he was like Fame and Fortune when he died. I thought he was at the top of his game. I had no idea that he was a pauper in a pauper's grave. That's super interesting.
Yeah, it's sad how many artists are not recognized until they're long dead. They said the final resting place of William Blake was not discovered until 2006, and then the Blake Society, with contributions from Bruce Dickinson, raised the money for a headstone, which was just unveiled. So
I'm a member of the Robert Blake Society, and you get nothing for shooting your wife.
a star on the
you.
Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Yeah.
It took a long time, but I think it was worth the wait, right, Danny?
Well, absolutely.
It was worth the wait for Weird Al Yankovic.
Oh, come on. How dare you?
The Hollywood Chamber of Commerce announced yesterday that Weird Al Yankovic will be getting his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame on August 27th. His will be located at 6914 Hollywood Boulevard, right across from the Chinese Theater.
Is he the only accordion player on the Walk of Fame? Really?
No, I'll bet money he is not Art Linkletter. There was another famous the guy named Lips, I think, but I would bet money he is not the only accordion player that's on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And the guy, he works hard, he wins Grammys and everything. I don't want to take his star away or anything like that, but I don't think his job's that hard. Do you?
I don't know. Writing those songs cannot be easy.
Oh, my God. Mary had a little ham. Mary had a little ham, and she really liked Francis Bacon. There you go. That's how hard that job is.
Okay, but making ones that are listenable, I think.
I thought that was awesome. How dare you?
So Weird Al, star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, August 27th.
Yeah, I'm not mad.
He seems like such a good dude. It'd be pretty hard to be mad at Weird Al.
And it's been years. Like, there's a level of success, I think. I remember, and this guy's a friend of mine, I remember when Ryan Seacrest got his star on the Walk of Fame. That's right. Ryan Seacrest got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And I think I was still working with the guy at the time. And all of Los Angeles radio just dogged him about how dare he get a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. He's been in showbiz about an hour and a half. And I totally supported the guy because I was not nearly on my campaign that I should get a star yet. So I just supported Ryan. But now I'll take his star.
All right. September 21st and 22nd, T-Mobile Arena in Vegas. It's our iHeartRadio Music Festival. So many different people performing: Justin Timberlake, Mariah Carey, Jack White, Lynyrd Skynyrd, Fleetwood Mac. That's just the tip of the iceberg. Well, there are going to be a lot of collaborations, these kinds of things you will not see anywhere else except the iHeartRadio Music Festival. You could be headed to the show on us, airfare, hotel. For two people, you're just listening for a keyword. You text it to 200-200 for your shot to win. You can get all the info at KZOK.com.
Cool.
Ian Ziering, the actor best known for Beverly Hills 90210 and
Sharknado.
And is that the guy that had the like Chippendales type thing?
He used to be in Chippendales Dancer, did take that out on the road, yep.
Yeah, you know what? This guy, if he eventually gets a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, I might have to back it.
Really?
You were in 90210, which makes you kind of a spaz. But then, you take you with your gnarly body and you go on the road with dancing muscle guys. It seems, and then you do Sharknado. It seems like he's worked so hard to keep his hand in. Yeah, I would have to vote for him.
Yeah, I guess A for effort.
Yeah.
Well, he's got a new TV series called Festival Crusader with Ian Ziering. It's an unscripted travel adventure series about the world's most outrageous festivals. He'll travel across America and the globe to uncover which festivals are all the rage and discover how human interaction at these gatherings is so desirable. Why do people want to go to these?
Yeah.
He'll be taking part in a Viking battle in Norway, the UFO celebration in Roswell, drenching of rainbow-colored dye in India, and the Pyro Festival in Mexico.
Okay, I would do all those things. I like this guy more and more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of mad that he is getting this and not one of us.
Yeah.
Mark Hamill is going to play a warrior monk knight again, only this time he'll carry a sword instead of a lightsaber. The Star Wars actor has signed on to season 2 of history's medieval drama called Nightfall. He'll play Talus.
Nightfall spelled with a K?
Yes, Nightfall.
Neat.
He'll be playing a battle-hardened Knight Templar veteran of the Crusades who survived captivity for 10 years on the Holy Land and has now been tasked with training the new initiates to the order.
All right.
You mean the Force.
This sounds like my cup of tea.
I've not heard of this show, and I do watch a fair amount of garbage on television. This is in its second season.
Well, I watch tons of television, and I haven't heard of it either. So I don't know where they're hiding. What channel is it on, or what network?
History.
Oh, so channel 120 at my house. Yeah, I don't know how I haven't seen it.
If they want to draw more attention to it, just for one episode, he's got to bust out the lightsaber.
This has just been renewed for season 2, and then they said, "Oh yeah, and Mark Hamill's joining the gang."
Cool. Good for. He's completely set for life financially, and that, believe it or not, from the very first movie, made him a multimillionaire because what's his name? The producer director.
George Lucas?
Mm-hmm.
George Lucas gave all the stars, all the principals, a quarter point in the movie, which turned into like $8 million. They had no idea it was going to make that kind of money. So they were all rich from like the very first day of filming or certainly after release. So I don't know what he's doing for the money. I don't think any. I think he's set. I'll bet $25 million if I had to guess. But, you just want to stay acting and stuff when you're an actor. If you don't keep acting when you're an actor, you know what you end up? You end up a DJ. Nobody wants that.
Anthony Bourdain, at the time of his death, had an apartment in Columbus Circle in New York City, about 1,300 square feet. And this is located on the 64th floor of the Time Warner Center.
Wow.
Super fancy building, super fancy part of New York City. 2-bedroom, 2-bath. It is now available for rent.
For rent?
Yep.
Long term or Airbnb?
Long term.
Okay.
It is
$20,000 a month?
$14,200 per month.
A steal.
For craziness, but that's not, my ex-wife with her multi-million-dollar house rents it out for $12,000 a month. So there's a whole group of people that's where they function. I don't function in that realm. Just the thought, I cannot imagine on rent spending more than $2,800 a month and on mortgage $3,800 a month. After that, you're not enjoying life. You're just sending your money back to the bank.
Well, and it's crazy to think, too, $14,000 per month for 1,300 square feet. That's tiny.
It's $1,000 a square foot to rent.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Let's take a look at sports.
Sports
Brought to you by Bradley Johnson Attorneys. If you're facing a DUI, call 1-800-DUI-AWAY. That's 1-800-DUI-AWAY. A tough outing for the Seattle Mariners. They came so close to winning over the A's. They had a big comeback attempt, but were not successful. 7-6 was the loss against the A's yesterday.
Yeah, down 7-1, and then the 8th, they mount a rally, and they come back to be within one run, and they just can't get it done.
Nope. Well, it's an important series. They'll turn it around tonight on the road once again facing the Oakland Athletics. 7:05 start time on Root Sports. If you want to win tickets to an upcoming game, we're going to play an in-studio version of Mariners KZOK Music Trivia right now. We're going to play you a song clip. If you can tell us the artist, the title, and the year it came out, you'll win tickets to an upcoming game. Derek, play that clip.
I think Danny knows it.
Call right now.
Was that out loud?
800-252-1025. Artist, song title, and year it came out. First person to correctly identify it wins tickets to an upcoming game. So, Derek, where do things stand right now, literally in the standings?
Currently, we are 4.5 games behind the Astros, who are in first, and 2.5 games behind the Oakland Athletics.
All right, so we need to win tonight, and I think we will. We've got James Paxton on the hill against Mike Fiers. 7:05 start time, Root Sports.
And Robbie Cano back tonight.
Indeed.
Probably playing second base because D. Gordon's out with a shoulder injury.
Poor little T. Gordon.
Yeah.
I was looking at the flashes on my news, and usually when I get to sports, I'm done. I don't really pay that much attention to it. But the top of the headline, I had to leave. I didn't read it was, how Cano got the craziest contract in baseball. Does that make sense to anybody?
No.
It was a ton of money, and especially for him sitting 80 games. It was a big contract for sure.
Yeah, I didn't have time to read it, but I thought, hey, that's my team you're talking about.
Because all these baseball contracts are guaranteed, a lot of guys end up getting paid for years and getting paid, tens of millions of dollars years after they're able to play.
Right, and he's
all
not,
right, when
not
I'm
a
done,
youngster.
when I'm done feeding the cats in Greece, then I'm going to jump over and be a Major League Baseball player.
All right.
There you go.
I need the dough.
You guys remember Leonys Martin?
Yeah.
Former
No.
Mariner. Played for the Mariners, 2 years ago. A great ball player. He is now with the Cleveland Indians as an outfielder. And we're finding out that he has a bacterial infection that was life-threatening as it attacked his organs. The coach and manager of the team said he is in stable condition but has been at the Cleveland Clinic for nearly a week.
Wow.
He had a bacterial infection that entered his bloodstream and damaged his internal organs.
Is he going to be all right?
They said, we're optimistic. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Super scary. Well wishes to Leonise Martin.
Yeah, I would hope for I'm certain, not I'm optimistic when you're a doctor, especially at the Cleveland Clinic.
Right?
No, I forget what thing we were talking about one day, but we all agreed that you never hear the word oops from your doctor.
Right.
The record for the most expensive signed baseball in history has been absolutely obliterated. On Sunday, a baseball with the signatures of 11 of the first Baseball Hall of Fame inductees sold at auction for $600,000.
And that's the most ever paid for a baseball?
For a non-game used baseball, that is the most paid by leaps and bounds.
Wow, I know Charlie Sheen paid $1 million for one. Or at least that's what he says he did. Who does that? I mean, you know who does it? Rick Jones. Rick Jones. That's who. If I don't know what he does with his money, but it would not surprise me to go to his house and see a $600,000 baseball.
Yeah, and this one is super special. It's got signatures of Babe Ruth, Honus Wagner, Ty Cobb, Cy Young, Tris Speaker, George Sisler, Walter Johnson, Connie Mack, and then the rest of these people. The first, it's 11 Hall of Fame inductees. So the last record was a Babe Ruth signed ball, which sold for about $390. So this is more than doubling what it was.
Wow, that's amazing. I had no idea. I thought, well, I guess, what do I know? That's not my cup of tea in any way, shape, or form. But I thought Babe Ruth went for $1 million automatically.
There's baseball cards that easily go for that $1 million, some up to $3 million.
No. Oh, maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
The Seattle Seahawks and Oakland Raiders are scheduled to play a game overseas this season, and they have already decided they need to move its location. The game was originally supposed to be played at Tottenham Stadiums on October 14th, but they have now said they need to move it to Wembley. It turns out Tottenham Hotspur Stadium will not be completed in time. So they had scheduled a whole bunch of games to be played there, and they're like, yeah, that's not really ready to go. Let's move it on over to Wembley.
They canceled the game there because by American standards, that's just a wussy name. We're going to play at Tottenham Stadium. Wembley, that's a place.
Yeah.
Seahawks, Raiders, Tennessee, LA on October 21st, and the Eagles and Jags on October 28th. And it looks like they'll all be playing at Wembley Stadium. As we said, the Mariners on the road facing the Oakland Athletics tonight, 7:05 start time on Root Sports. But we want to send you to a Mariners home game by playing Mariners KZOK Music Trivia. Derek, play that clip again. Kind of an unmistakable voice.
Does it count? Like, can I win just because I really like that song?
Well, Danny, tell us what year it came out in, maybe.
Okay. Is all I'm going for is the year?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go, it was before the Red Rocker. I'm going to go 91.
Wow, you are so not correct that you can't win tickets, Danny. I can't do it.
86?
84.
Whoa, I am wrong.
Van Halen Jump 1984. Keith and Edmonds got it right. He's going to the Jeep winners window in our lobby to pick up what, Derek?
Keith won tickets for the game on Friday night at 7:10 p.m. versus the LA Dodgers, which just happens to be Sing-Along Fireworks Night.
Sing-along fireworks night.
Don't miss the fourth of 5 fireworks nights at Safeco Field featuring some of your favorite tunes to sing along to. The Mariners have partnered with Pyro Spectaculars, the same company who produces the New Year's Eve at the Space Needle extravaganza for this big event. Visit mariners.com/fireworks for more information.
All right, thank you, and congratulations, Keith in Edmonds. Your next chance to win will be tomorrow morning, right about this same time. Sports this morning brought to you by Bradley Johnson Attorneys at 1-800-DUIOA.
Hey, let me tell you about 1-800-DUI away, because this is really interesting. If you get pulled over for a DUI in the state of Washington, you are in fact intoxicated, you don't get a ticket. You go to jail right there. They arrest you, put you in handcuffs no matter who's around, and they take you to jail, and then you wait to go to court when the fun starts. Don't be crazy. Call 1-800-DUI away. Their lawyers will fight hard for you. Meet you in Seattle, Everett, and Tacoma free of charge. So if the unfortunate happens to you and you get a DUI, don't delay. Call 1-800-DUI away. That's 1-800-DUI away. So it's a little after 7 a.m., but if you stay with us till it's a little more after 7, say 7:20, you can play the game and you can win a pair of tickets to the Boeing Classic August 20th at Snoqualmie Ridge. All you got to do is know the real golfer. Just that easy.
2 weeks from today, pumpkin spice lattes back at Starbucks.
Wow.
It's like an actual announcement that they make every year.
And they do it, at least this time, they do it when it's 80-something degrees out.
Yep. The PSL. It even has its own abbreviation. The PSL back at Starbucks.
PSL.
Pumpkin spice latte?
Oh, yeah, got it. I'm not good at those.
Pumpkin spice latte back in stores on August 28th. And a lot of people are excited, and a lot of people say, too soon. And not
I could see that. I'm not one of those guys. If you put up your Christmas lights in October or whatever it is, that'll make it my wife upset as we're done. But too soon. I don't really care, but this seems too soon.
Well, and it's August 14th. If I went to Bartell's or Walmart or wherever and saw the Halloween candy today, I would be angry. It's too soon.
Oh, then don't go.
Yeah, because it's there.
It's out.
No,
yeah.
too soon.
At Safeway or Safeway, the whole back wall are giant packs of candy, and that's been up there for a couple of weeks already, if not more.
Yeah, I don't approve. I definitely think it's too soon.
Yeah, I was at Costco the other day because Jellybean's taking swim lessons and she needed a new swimsuit. And there's still swimsuits out, right? So we went to Costco. Nope, they'd been replaced by winter parkas.
Oh, too soon.
Too soon.
Too soon.
Well, I know a couple of examples that a lot of us have done something too soon. What comes to mind first for you, Danny? Something that you've done too soon?
Well, there's a couple of things that I have done too soon, and I've been accused of doing too soon. But I've had too soon done to me. Does that count?
Sure.
I got a Twitter from some guy, and I'm sure he was trying to be nice and or funny, but I don't know. It was, let's say 3 months ago, I'm guessing. I could recollect. And the Twitter said, finally, it was the day the guy died.
Oh.
And he tweeted me that finally I look better than the teen idol. Like, I don't know who he's trying to insult, but it seems like me.
Oh.
But
That is
it was
too
way
soon.
too soon.
Yeah.
It was way too soon.
Well, you guys.
I mean, not even because the guy was a great friend of mine. The guy was dead. And later that day, this guy thought it was funny, and I said, too soon.
Oh. Well, you guys listening, have you ever done something that some might consider too soon? Pumpkin spice latte coming out in August. Some consider that too soon. What have you done? Let us know by calling 800-252-1025 or text 90627 now.
Question to you. They've got the spice lattes coming out that shouldn't be out for months now. I say, and I think we all say, too soon. The question is, when have you done something that some might consider too soon? That's 1-800-252-1025. Or you can text to 90627.
Good morning to Richard in Seattle.
Hey, Richard.
Good morning. Good morning. I was at the birthday party and had a great time, and I got you a little J.B. Patches figurine doll. I don't know if you got it or not, but
I did get it. I absolutely got it. That was you. I didn't know that. Thank you.
yeah. Anyway, I took a shower last night, and it was 6 p.m., and I found myself wanting to put on pajamas because I go to work at 4 in the morning, so that was a little too early to me want to do something.
6 o'clock considered going to bed too soon?
Yeah, I don't do it. I'm getting ready for bed every single night because I get up the same hours as he does. So no, I don't think any of that was too soon.
A lot of people who look at our lifestyle, though, absolutely think our bedtime is too soon.
I would think it was too soon if you didn't have our hours. But with our hours, I live a decent life from 4 a.m. till the 6 o'clock news. And then I go get in bed and wait for sleep to envelop me.
I don't think I go to bed too soon. I think I wake up too soon.
Yeah.
Well, you guys, have you ever done something that some might consider too soon? Let us know. Call 800-252-1025. Let's talk to Albert in Bellevue.
Hey, Albert.
Danny G, what's up, baby?
What's up, man?
Not much, bro. Check this out, right? I took time off from work to go to a family reunion, but unfortunately, I was 2 weeks too early.
For real? You got your family reunion 2 weeks too early?
2 weeks too early. I got the dates all screwed up.
Aw.
Poor guy.
Yeah, okay. I'm with you on that. That one's got to be painful.
So off topic, but my one of my besties, Barb, she went to a family reunion. Her last name was Smith. Like,
Was it
can you
just
imagine?
gigantic?
Yeah, there was just thousands of people, and she wasn't even convinced that she was related to all of them.
It's so funny because I mentioned this lady on the show yesterday. I forget what the topic was, but I remember Cindy Jones, the Miss Teenage America girl or Teenage California. I decided, and recently, to see what was happening in her life. Where is she? What's she up to? And I tried to get her on Facebook. But Cindy Jones' name is Cindy Jones. Try looking that up.
Jackie in Yelm texted into 90627. She says she plans vacations too soon. She's already got her trip planned for 2020.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's okay. I didn't think it was that because I was going to, we do that. No, we totally don't do that. We don't even know if I'll have a job in 2020.
And Andrew in Kent says he got engaged to his current wife while he was still married to his ex-wife without any plans for a divorce.
Whoa.
Maybe a
Okay,
little too
I don't
soon.
mean to be rude and burst your bubble, dude. Done that twice.
I had a feeling he would call to answer the question, have you done something that might be considered too soon? It's Rob in Louisville.
Hey,
Hey
Rob.
guys, how you doing today? Well, back when I did this, everybody put it nicely, said I was really, really stupid for doing this, but they say we got married way too soon. I think 17 hours was a nice engagement.
I think you were fine, man. If you ever want support on a move like that, you call me, and I will always back you up.
That's too funny. 800-252-1025. Have you ever done something that some might consider too soon? Starbucks announced pumpkin spice lattes have a release date of August 28th. That has a lot of us saying, too soon. I get it. They're delicious, but it is too soon.
I was one time accused of finishing too soon, and I said, listen, the coffee table is not going to finish itself, so I don't even know what you're talking about.
Paul, have you done something that people consider too soon?
Yeah, I probably started driving a car too soon. I was driving a truck around just our property when I was maybe 10 or 11 by myself, but just on our property. And then on the regular road with my dad in the car by 14. I remember one time I was driving and we were on the highway. We're driving to the dump, taking a load of trash to the dump. And I'm towing a trailer for the very first time. I'm 14 years
Oh my
old.
gosh.
And there's a highway patrolman in front of us on the highway. And my dad's like, oh, you got to pass him. He's going too slow. I'm 14 towing a trailer for the first time in my life. Probably too soon.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, I was listening, I thought, Jelly Bean is being trained to drive at what, 5? You started her driving?
Yeah, I mean, on my lap, but...
On your property, on the lap. No, I don't mean anything by it. It's all good. It's all safe. All our dads did it, I think. So I wasn't that, too soon with your story. 14 driving on the street. Yeah, okay. But pulling a trailer? I'm 59 as of yesterday, and I'm terrified to pull trailer. Try and park with a trailer, get into a parking space, get through a gate. So you, buddy, too soon.
Tori, have you ever done something that some might consider too soon?
I guess you could consider this too soon, but as a little girl, my parents used to give me all these adult foods like blue cheese and goat cheese and French onion soup. And it was always weird going to restaurants because everyone's like, I want a hamburger, I want French fries. I'm like, can I have the French onion soup, please? But yeah, I don't know. I guess that'd be too soon.
Yeah, for sure.
I was
Kinda
going to
weird.
tell you that I think you quit kind of on your parents because you stopped eating what I would consider interesting food. And then damn if you haven't recently gone back to it, right?
Yeah, back with the meat again.
Yeah, back with the meat, which if you want to venture into the meat, that you can get, all sorts of kinds of meat. Aren't you a little bit anemic?
I am. Oh, I was for a while.
But actually, so am I. I couldn't believe it
What?
when I got these tests. I'm anemic. When I first found out, I went to give blood after the Las Vegas shooting, and they said, I'm sorry, you can't give blood. You're anemic. I said, you're wrong. Whatever. Then I went and got a test recently for something else, and they happened to mention, literally last week, that I am anemic, and they suggested a liver Do you eat liver?
Ew, no, I've never tried liver.
Come on, kid.
Yuck, ew.
I'm here. I'm working for you. Eat some liver.
All right.
There you go.
Pumpkin spice lattes have a release date of August 28th. We are saying that is too soon, talking about having done something some consider too soon. Did you have a text you want to share, Paul?
Oh, yeah. Our friend Yo just texted in and she said, is it too soon to start planning Danny's next birthday party? I had so much fun this year. Let's get it going.
I'm sure that I'm not alone in this one. Something I've done that many had considered too soon. Move in with somebody after dating for less than a month.
Oh, yeah. Don't do that.
Yeah,
Too soon.
I think it's too soon. I totally think that was. How did it end up? How'd it go?
Couple years. We were together for a couple years.
You did all right. You
Yeah.
were probably a kid or young, certainly younger. Yeah, I think here's my least favorite too soon. I sold a car. And I kind of didn't want to share the profits of the car, although, well, actually, I lost money, but I still had cash. I still had like 18 grand in cash or something like that. And I bought gold coins. They were about $400 an ounce. And then they started to go up, and I thought, I'm going to go sell these. And then it turned out my wife at the time was planning to divorce me and stole half my coins. So I went to the gold dealer, and I sold them back at $400 or $800 a coin, $800 a coin. So I did okay. But it went up to $1,200 an ounce like the next day.
Yep.
If I'd have just hung on one more day, I'd have had $25,000 instead of actually losing money. So I sold gold too soon.
Yeah, that's happened to a lot of people with stocks. Like,
Yeah.
oh, it's time. This stock's not doing so hot. I'll just drop this Apple.
What's up with this Microsoft stock?
I don't need Sony.
I was watching, is it Anthony Bourdain? Yeah, I was watching Anthony Bourdain, and he was with either David Cho. Anyway, a Korean-American cook who has all these food trucks. He's a huge phenomenon, right? But what made him such a big deal in beginning is he was asked to paint a mural at Facebook's homepage, and they couldn't pay him, so they gave him stock.
Oh,
Now,
wow.
but the thing is with that guy, he still got it.
Yeah.
I'd have sold it the second it doubled. And now it's gone, 100 times?
Yeah.
Derek, have you ever done something that some might consider too soon?
Over the weekend, when I was driving around, I saw a store that's advertising that they have Halloween costumes for sale. So when I
Yeah.
came in this morning, I told Tori, hey, I need to start thinking about a Halloween costume. And she looked at me like I'm insane.
Too soon.
Yeah, too soon.
It's not too soon to hook you guys up with tickets to the Boeing Classic, August 20th through the 26th at Snoqualmie Ridge. You could watch 78 PGA Tour champion players battle for a $2.1 million purse. We are giving you a chance to win your way in by playing four. If you want to win these tickets, call us right now to play the game. 800-252-1025. We are playing the game for your chance to win a pair of tickets to the Boeing Classic at Snoqualmie Ridge. Here's how it works. One of the four names that Danny will give you is a current PGA Tour Champions player. The rest, the other three, are from a golf movie. So in order to win, you'll have to tell us which of the four is the real deal golf player. We are going to start off with Corey in Bellevue.
Hey, Corey, how are you?
Doing good.
Well, this
Good morning,
answers
guys.
the next. Good. I was going to say that answers the next question. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Oh, yeah.
All right, good. And do you understand the rules of the game?
Yes, I do.
All right, this is an easy one. Here we go. One member of this foursome will play the Boeing Classic at Snoqualmie Ridge. The rest are from an Adam Sandler movie. Number 1, Chubbs Peterson. Number 2, Happy Gilmore. Number 3, Duffy Waldorf. Or number 4, Shooter McGavin. Can you tell us which one of those four is a current PGA Tour Champions player?
Could you repeat the four again? I'm sorry.
Oh, my God. Got places to be. Here, you ready? You ready, man? It's number 1, and that's an easy way to know is remember the names. I remember the numbers. Number 1, Chubbs Peterson. Number 2, Happy Gilmore. Number 3, Duffy Waldorf. Or number 4, Shooter McGavin. Which one of those is the current PGA Champions player?
Duffy Waldorf.
That is correct,
Duffy Waldorf.
Corey.
That is absolutely correct, man.
Nice job. The rest are from Happy Gilmore. Corey, you've won a pair of tickets to the 13th annual Boeing Classic Pro Golf Tournament and returning to the club at Snoqualmie Ridge. Tickets are on sale now at BoeingClassic.com. But Corey is going to the Jeep Winners window in our lobby to pick up his prize. The rest of you join us again to win tomorrow at 7:20. And up next is the big news of the day.
And the big news of the day would be nothing without our friends at Goldberg Jones Divorce for Men. Call 1-800-DIVORCE, or you can go online to goldbergjones.com.
We are finding out that a couple of weeks ago, a man and wife here in Seattle, Steve and Leslie Kennedy, did something a little unconventional. This man, Steve, from Seattle, donated his kidney to his wife.
Tough to beat.
Now, they had been married for 30 years, and she has polycystic kidney disease. That is something that causes cysts to grow on her kidneys. And her sister said, I'll see if I'm a match. And one of her colleagues said, I'll see if I'm a match. And then her husband's like, I'll see if I'm a match.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I have to at this point.
You know, I'll tell you the truth. I've been here, and I had to go see if I was a match for someone because I opened my big mouth. And then I sat there, to be honest with you, I did not want to give this person my kidney. I didn't even know them that well. They were somebody related to somebody I know real well. And I said, well, no, if you don't find one, I'll give you one. The next thing I know, I'm getting tested for it. And thankfully, I was not a match. And I think she may have lived. I'm not really sure.
No.
Well,
Can you bribe the person doing the test? Hey, here's a little something. Let them know I'm not a match.
I've bribed other test givers, if you know what I'm saying, and it's not that difficult.
Well, he was the match. The other two were not, and he decided, yes, to go through and donate it. And they are now on the mend at Virginia Mason. Looks like things are going to wind up being okay. Like, she's not rejecting it. He said, looks like my kidney's doing okay over there in her body inside of the new home.
There's a possibility I would give my wife a kidney-shaped pool. That would seem like, you got to get in and you got to do something. But I don't know, man. And you remember what happened to George Lopez?
Oh, yeah.
His wife gave him a kidney or something like that, and they got divorced, and she sued to get it back, which I thought was awesome.
Google wants to know your every move and is tracking you on your mobile phone even when you order it not to. That's according to a new study done by the Associated Press, an investigation done. Android and iPhones are storing location data even when your location privacy settings are enabled. So you're turning off the tracking. It says, you can set this on your phone. You say, don't watch me.
Right.
And it's watching you.
That's weird because I'm big on, I don't care. It's my phone or something else. It says when I do maps. No, it's actually, you're right. When I say Google, a lot of times it comes up, a little thing flashes up and says, Google would like to know your current location. And I used to say no. And then I thought, I wonder if they're just mapping out where I go and can make my day easier. So now I always say yes. I don't think it's the end of the world, but I don't think they should lie about it. You know, if you're a paying customer or however it is you get the kind of electronics, if you pay or if it's just part of your package, you just shouldn't lie about that stuff. It's going to come back and bite you right in the butt.
What happens is you agree to it in the terms and conditions when you first download the app. It says somewhere in there, nobody reads it. You scroll your thumb down and click, I've read this and accept it. It says somewhere in there, I agree to allow it to track me even after I've turned off the tracking. And
it does? You're sure it says that? You've seen that?
Yeah, no, I haven't seen it. Nobody reads it, but they say that it's in there, and it's for the improvement of their product, that it makes their products better if they know where you are and what your routine is. Like if sometimes
they made back down there lie to me because my concern was lying to me, and if they've told me in advance just because I didn't read it, that's kind of on me.
I just don't think it's the end.
Right. That's where I have my problem with. I don't have a problem with my phone knowing where I am, or if somebody wants me to come to their sale. I wanted to buy some really wacky jackets, and I looked them up on the internet, and then I thought, well, this is stupid. I don't care anymore. And now they pop up no matter what I do. So I always think my phone or my computer's tracking me in one way or the other, and I'm okay with it. Just don't lie to me.
So you need to go to Web and App Activity, and you can click on something to disable that, which will do the trick. But they say it also will prevent Google from storing search information, which will limit Google Assistant's effectiveness. So they say it's all for you. We're just trying to help you.
Yeah, every assistant I ever had was inefficient, so I don't think this is a big deal. Once again, I'll just stick with this stance: is they shouldn't lie to me. Take my business, but don't lie to me.
And the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, for the first time, has approved marketing of a mobile app. So this is an app that will be used as a contraception method to prevent pregnancy.
Wow, we happen to have just the opposite. When you teased coming up in the news this thing, I thought, oh, I'm going to get to tell Sarah, no, Amy has this app on her phone, but it's actually the opposite. She has an app that tells us when she's fertile and that we should take an attempt at getting her pregnant. And this is just the opposite?
Yes and no. It is the same, but this one is called Natural Cycles. It is meant for premenopausal women aged 18 and older. It contains an algorithm that calculates the days of the month a woman is likely to be fertile. It's based
we've
on
got this.
Daily body temperature readings and your menstrual cycle information. So for women who do not want to get pregnant, it'll tell you, do not have adult relations on this day.
But that's no kind of contraceptive.
Yeah.
To not have sex on certain days. That's how teenagers get pregnant every time.
So this costs $79.99. It includes an oral basal thermometer.
Well,
and
you won't get pregnant that way.
You're supposed to take your temperature each day when you wake up, enter it into the app, and then you are supposed to abstain or use protection on those days that when it says use protection. So this could be used in either way. This could be used, it says use protection. If you're trying to get pregnant, you don't.
Yeah, even though we are no longer actively trying to have a kid, we did not take all the steps that we would need for her to get pregnant. She will still tell me what kind of day it is. If I don't know, I don't want to be gross here, but if let's say we're getting a little bit romantic and the inevitable is right around the corner, she will then look at her phone before we have that magic moment and tell me what kind of day she's having. The answer is you're having a great day. Danny Bonaduce is about to have sex with you. How could you have a better day?
Well,
if you've ever
shut up, you want me.
If you've ever traveled to an airport, which I think most everybody listening has, there's been a time where you wanted to charge your device. And most of the time, there'll be people gathered around an outlet, putting in their iPhones or their iPads, trying to get a little charge before you get on the airplane.
Right.
Well, Twitter has captured by travelers a very obnoxious prank happening at airports. People are posting photorealistic stickers of wall outlets in random spots in airports across the country, making it look like it's a great place to go charge your phone. And then you go there and you try to plug it in. It's a sticker stuck to the wall.
Oh, that's
it's
terrible.
a decal, right?
Yep. It's a
sticker.
sticker.
You know what? The second you said there's an annoying prank, I thought, well, they're all annoying. That's redundant. It's just a prank. They're all annoying and terrible, and I hate them. But you know what? I'd give that a pass. That's kind of funny because you're done with the prank the same second you're exposed to it. You get over there, you go, oh, place to plug. Turns out to be a sticker, and you go, damn it, and you go away. That's a viable prank, I think.
It's pretty mean, but the stickers can be purchased on Amazon for $9, so it's not even a cheap prank.
I don't know. I think putting a marital aid in a senator's mouth on TV is a nasty prank. That's your Sacha Baron Cohen. Your sticker on the wall, I just don't think that's as bad.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm going to laugh. I'm going to walk towards it to try and plug my phone in. And once I realize I've been pranked, that's actually one I think I might laugh at.
Yeah, might laugh at that. Might yell the F word and then look for a real one. But it's not the end of my day because I've been pranked.
If you would like to get a little bit closer to Johnny Carson, I will tell you a way you can. Well, you're going to need some extra money, but his former home, which is on the market, has seen a price drop.
Really?
Yes.
When you were first starting...
Wouldn't you just have to say that the whole time if you bought his house?
I would constantly say that. When you were saying you can get a piece of Johnny Carson, I thought it was the microphone that stood on his desk, and I would pay any extra money because that's my guy, Johnny Carson. That's the guy I grew up with. That's the guy. Interestingly enough, that's the job I always thought that I wanted, and in a kind of different way, this is it. It's the really similar job. You sit in front of a microphone, but he's the idol, and I would have paid, if I could find 10 G's, I'd have paid 10 G's for his microphone. What do they want for his house?
Well, his house has seen a price drop of more than $10.
That's so crazy about real estate. You can just say, oh, no, you know what? I didn't mean that. It's now $10 million. In any other world, if I went to buy a car, and I had heard that it was $35,000, and they said, "Oh, it's $180,000." Oh, I'm sorry, we're wrong. I would never deal with them again. But in real estate, it's natural.
It's a Malibu-based property in California, initially listed at $81.5 million.
Yeah.
But it's now on the market for just over $65.
Yeah, I've only got to have a glimpse of it a couple of times. It's right down the road from Dick Clark's house, where I had the pleasure of spending some time. It's pretty nice. It's an amazing place. Then the property is divided, goes under Pacific Coast Highway and up into a park. It's amazing.
Well, if you've got just over $65 million, Danny, it could be yours.
I will check my backpack.
That's the big news of the day, which is brought to you by Goldberg Jones. Divorce for Men, 1-800-DIVORCE, or online, goldbergjones.com.
Hey, you know what's coming up next? That would be Sarah's Filthy Forecast.
It's Sarah with your filthy forecast. Sometimes you like a little sweet to go with your salty. You lick it up and down and all around, and you get all the salt of that pretzel. And then you want your lips to wrap around a big, thick chocolate banana.
Jeez.
That's what this day will be like. A little salt in the air to start your morning. Then the lips of the clouds will part and the sun can reach on through and touch you from head to toe. 87 under sunny skies. Ooh, even hotter tomorrow. Don't worry, lots of mini skirt weather left. Ooh, I'll tell you about Vanessa's leopard mini next time. You won't believe what she had under it. Join me Thursday with the best weather front in Seattle. I'm Sarah.
My goodness, great. I think that was Sarah's best rating yet. Paul and I gave you 2 snorts.
Yes, double snort.
Right in the middle of back-to-back snorts, man. That's something good right there.
And I don't know about you, Danny, but I'm going to wear my mini skirt tomorrow because apparently there's
I'm going to wear my mini leopard, which is a tiny little animal that I'm just going to put on a leash and walk around the station. That was Sarah's Filthy Forecast. And by the way, I'd like to remind everybody, the iHeartRadio app is all your favorite music, all your favorite stations and all of that free. KZOK and iHeartRadio are giving you weekly mixtapes, which is so cool. I haven't had a mixtape since the 80s, and they were the coolest thing about the 80s. Hey, the more you thumb up on and save songs, the more we're going to improve your update and mixtape, or your update your mixtape, rather. Just open the iHeartRadio app and find it in your pocket next. You know, the best thing about working for iHeartRadio, well, first is their checks clear, but the second is the iHeartRadio Music Festival, and that is happening September 21st and 22nd. They couldn't even contain it to one night, and we want to send you to Las Vegas to see the show. Just listen for the keyword and then text 200-200 with that word, and you've got a very good shot to win your trip for 2 to Las Vegas. Next chance coming up this morning in less than 10 minutes. Well, I'm wrong about that. I know, in less than 10 minutes.
Hey, Danny, you surprised a lot of people when you admitted pretty recently that you love your meditation app.
I do.
A lot of people would not expect that you're into meditating and that you wouldn't even be using an app because you are not the most tech-savvy person, but you just don't seem like someone who would be into meditating at all.
You know, as I'm hearing these words come out of your mouth, I think, well, I'm going to be mad any minute now. But the fact is you're right about everything. It seems weird that I meditate. I have to have Amy help me with it, and it's a big orange button that says Headspace. It takes up a whole page on my phone. You can't miss it, yet I get it wrong all the time. So, yes, I will give you that. Meditation and apps are 2 things you would not expect me to do.
Well, in the meditation, it's hard for people to get into. A lot of people are told it's good for you. You should really try it. It's a de-stressing tool, and so many people just can't get into it that I'm surprised that you enjoy it, that you can shut down like that.
Oh, I don't get me wrong. I'm not great at it. First of all, I don't do the stuff he tells me to do because he has me sitting cross-legged and straight up, and he mentions posture a couple of times during his little talk thing, and I'm on the bed kind of laying back right there. So right there, I'm not doing what the guru guy is telling me to do, but I still enjoy it. I still enjoy the 7 minutes or whatever I can keep my head around of meditation. I do like it. I'll tell you something that I have done that I really like that nobody would ever think of me doing in a million years. I took a flower arranging class at the Learning Annex in Los Angeles. Now, this big thing about, I don't know if I read it wrong or what, but it was the Japanese flower arrangement. And, it's a deep spiritual thing. And I thought the same kind of thing I thought about meditation. This will calm me down. It didn't. But I made a beautiful arrangement of flowers that now had specific meaning. So I stayed with it for like a year.
That's neat.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, you guys listening, what is something you never thought you'd be into, but you totally are? For Danny, it's meditation and flower arranging. What is it? What is it for you? Call us now. Let us know. 800-252-1025.
I took and enjoyed a flower arranging class. I'm into meditation, and I get it that people wouldn't think that's what I'm into. So the question to you is, what is something that you never thought that you'd be into, but totally are? 1-800-252-1025 or text 90627.
Good morning to Ellen in Covington.
Hey, Ellen.
Hi, you guys. How you doing this morning?
We're all good, thank you.
Good, great. I am in the process. I just took my first class on Saturday, and that was a tarot card reading class. It's very interesting.
Is it really, you don't have to be a big believer to get into it? You can just do it for the fun?
Well, you can be and do it for the fun as well. I mean, I have some sort of belief in the cards, but they're kind of hard to learn. So, but
yeah, I'm sure. When I was married to this lady named Gretchen, she would not allow tarot cards in the house or Ouija boards, insisting they were the work of the devil. And I thought, well, now I'm interested. I wasn't interested before, but now they're the work of the devil. So what can you do? Can you tell fortunes or futures?
well, they don't predict the future. They just kind of help you through your day, or just kind of give you points as to how you should maybe direct things better.
Oh, I think that's my next thing. I like it.
The crazy thing about tarot cards is they say, say the death card gets turned over. It has nothing to do with actual dying. Like, it doesn't mean you're going to die. You flip over the death card. They all have these weird meanings. And I guess that's why you take a class, because otherwise you'd be like, oh, no, you're going to die. It's the death card. So maybe that's next
what
for
I
you.
would think. It's called
That's
the
what I
death
would
card.
think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't work that way.
And I
Strange.
think if you get the Joker, you're an idiot, or you're going to date an idiot.
Don and Puyallup, what is something you never thought you'd be into, but you totally are?
Hey, Don.
30 years ago in high school, I used to hate disco, and about maybe 25 years later, I started to get into it. I thought I would never get into disco.
Well, first of all, who's your favorite disco band?
Well, I mean, I liked them all, but
It's funny
used
because
to As I asked you that, I realized I don't have an answer. I would go with Casey and the Sunshine Band, and I don't like them at all. They're just the only thing. Maybe Yvonne Ellerman. Their names did not really hang around, but I'm with you. I was around for the end of disco where people just hated it. But if you're really into 70s music as much as you say you are, let me turn you on to a place called That 70s Shop, and it's in Yakima. And my wife lives in these kind of stores and said that's the best one. So I'm going to turn you on to that name, That 70s Shop in Yakima.
There you go. All right. Rob in Louisville, what is something you never thought you'd be into, but you totally are?
Hello again. Well, I just recently got into candle making, and
Really?
one of my favorite candles is an empty moonshine jar, and that candle came out fantastic.
Never
Well-
would have pegged Rob for a candle maker.
Okay, now I gave that a try as well. Can you tell I'm in search of a hobby? Do you not find that it's not worth the mess? Don't you make an incredible mess? What do you do? Do you melt the slabs of wax, right?
Yes, melted on the stove, and then I've got different scents I add to it for the aroma, I guess is what you call it. And you just put the wick in, let it harden.
Yeah, you put your wick
That's
in and
pretty-
get it hard, and then it's, you can light it. I think it's really cool. I just never had the patience. Like, is it one of your wife's pots that you melt wax in?
Yes.
Yeah, man, I'd be dead already.
And usually that stuff ends up costing 5 times as much as
Yeah.
it would cost to just go buy a nice
Easily.
candle.
Easily, although I must admit I like the moonshine one.
Daniel in Arlington, what is something you never thought you'd be into, but you totally are?
Well, good morning.
Morning.
Well, I just retired for the second time, so I've never been into camping or doing anything like that, but figured try it out. So we bought an RV, and my wife and I have gone on a couple short little trips, and just want to practice this stuff to see if I like it enough to do it full time.
Fun.
So the possibility is really hitting the road full time.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Wow.
Just get out there and just snowboard it.
Because
Good
I've
for
done
you,
what you
Daniel.
have done, my friend. I rented, that like 1-800-CAMP or 1-800-RV, whatever it is, on 3 different occasions, 1 week at a time, and it just seems like the most fun you could ever have that's legal. But owning an RV, finding a place to park it, keeping it running, making sure the septic tank or whatever it is all drained out, there's just a lot of work in this. So God bless you, Daniel.
Well, there is a lot of work, and I think that's why a lot of people think they'd never be into it. But as soon as you experience the freedom of the road, maybe it changes your mind.
Yeah, that, and I think you often think, well, this is for old people. And then when you get to be anywhere near my age and you start thinking about retirement plans, I'm with Daniel that I happen to think RVing is one of the best scenarios. If you don't, it ain't free, but it's not that expensive, and it's a really kind of exotic way of life, believe it or not.
Brian texted into 90627. He says he's surprised how much he's into hot yoga. He's been a CrossFit and a bodybuilder guy for years, and now he does hot yoga 3 to 5 times a week.
My goodness.
Wow. I always wanted to try that. So, the original name of that was Beacom Yoga, but then the guy Beacom, it's an actual person, got in a lot of trouble and had to flee the country. So now he's back in India. So people that don't want to be connected with the name Beacom now just call it hot yoga, but it seems spectacular, if not a little sticky.
Let's talk to Dave in Federal Way.
Hey, Dave.
Dave from Guam, guys. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Hey, I thought I'd never be into it, but I'm pretty into it. Being Hapa Dave from Guam, guys. The guy's got people walking into the Gracie Baja gym over there wanting to meet me. That's pretty awesome.
That's very cool.
Really? How do they find it? Where the hell is the Gracie gym?
Gracie Baja and Federal Way. Come try
Federal
some
Way,
free
guys.
classes.
I said I'd give you a little hand there, but that's true. You can tell that Hoppa Dave just like kind of invented this character, and now he's running with it, and it's pretty cool.
Paul, what is something you never thought you'd be into, but you totally are?
Having tea parties, playing with dollies, stuff like that. I grew up with 3 older sisters, and I would never do anything that I would consider girly, just because I didn't want the sisters to torment me. But now, if my little princess wants to crawl around on the floor and have a tea party with her stuffed animals, I'm right down there with her.
Oh, that is so cute.
It's funny because you only see that mostly in movies and sitcoms where, and a commercial for Tide, I think. And you think, well, that never really happens. But now it totally does.
Yeah.
Tori, what is something you never thought you'd be into, but you totally are?
I'm not into playing video games, but I am into watching people online playing video games.
That is so weird.
Isn't it weird? It's meditative. I don't know.
Wait,
Super
what?
weird.
You don't play, but you hook into the channel on which people are playing?
Well, there's YouTubers online that play video games, and you can watch them play. There's actually huge conferences. People will go just to watch people
Key
play.
Arena.
Yep.
Yeah, videos of other people playing video games.
It's fun.
Floyd in Bellevue texted in. He says, I never thought I would be into waking up in the mornings, but listening to you guys every morning really makes it worth it. He loves it. So.
Oh,
Well,
that's
nicely
nice.
said, sir.
And Derek, something you never thought you'd be into, but you totally are?
Well, I actually like playing video games, but I never thought I'd be into cell phone games because they're not considered like real, true, hardcore video games. But then I downloaded this thing called Candy Crush, and it became the most addictive thing in my life. I got to level like 795. It's embarrassing.
You realize that my wife plays this to the point of distraction where I have to go, hey, man, I was talking to you. Is it that really addictive? It's like, get mad at her.
Thanks for all your calls and texts. We will be right back with today's news. The Army says a Green Beret from Joint Base Lewis McChord has died from injuries sustained in an explosion while serving in Afghanistan on his 4th combat deployment. 36-year-old Staff Sergeant Raymond Transfiguracion was on patrol in the Helmand province when he was wounded by an improvised explosive device.
Oh, so he was killed by the enemy.
Yes.
I wondered if it was on base because, it's an amazing how much friendly fire casualties they are. But, man, I just hate that that's still going on. It seems like we should have been able to wrap that up a while ago. And, our good young men and women putting their lives in danger every day.
Well, the investigation is ongoing. Our hearts, of course, go out to his family. The Seattle City Council unanimously confirmed the appointment of Carmen Best to be police chief. The vote was 8-0. And they said congratulations to Chief Carmen Best on her confirmation as the next Seattle Police Department's chief of police. She became the first African-American to serve as police chief. She joined the department 26 years ago after a career in business and a stint in the Army.
Good for her. There's something I like about her. I'm sorry I didn't mean to interrupt, but I've seen some of her interviews. They're brief, which I like, but she seems more than qualified. There's this thing we skipped her over and we shouldn't have. First African American. Really, on just the merits alone, this lady deserves the job.
Yeah, I think that kind of comeback story. Everybody was rooting for her because she was not part of the three that the selection committee first picked. And I think a lot of people obviously think that she's qualified, but also it was fun to kind of have the underdog comeback story like you would see in a movie.
The Olympia Flea Market says it is closing its doors for good. The market, an indoor collection of antique and collectible vendors on Thurston Avenue Northeast in downtown, opened 8 years ago and was originally called the Olympia Weekend Market. But the flea market had often been named one of the best in the country.
Really?
And now this 8,000 square foot forum is going to be closing.
You know what? I'm sorry to hear that. First of all, I never even heard of this before, but I kind of like that sometimes. I like to go to those flea market things. And now, first I hear about it is in the story where it's going away.
Well, you'll still have time to go, Danny. The Olympia Flea Market says it will close next month. And there are a lot of sales, a lot of 50% off right now through Labor Day. So they will be open weekends until looks like mid-September.
How do you have a sale at a flea market? Isn't it already sale? That's the point.
Yeah, that's going to be even cheaper.
So go put it in and say it's even cheaper. It's $1 for a house.
In national and international news, at least 22 people were killed when a motorway bridge collapsed in torrential downpours this morning in the Italian port city of Genoa.
Really?
Oh, this was a crazy, terrible mishap. This 80-meter section of the bridge just disappeared, crashed down in the rain onto the roof of a factory below. So it almost looks like the bridge is a little bit like, say, the West Seattle Bridge, and then all of a sudden it just ends. And
now people die in that, trucks falling down into the water and the like, and you think if you turn your head to the right and look as far as you can, there's the 2,000-year-old Colosseum still standing there perfect. If you found a 200-year-old Roman, he'd have built you a better bridge.
Yeah, you went to Genoa recently, didn't you?
I did indeed, not recently, but I went, and I liked it a great deal.
Also making big international news this morning, a car slammed into barriers outside of Britain's Houses of Parliament, injuring at least 2. The male driver has been arrested on suspicion of terrorism, and according to their authorities in London, he is not cooperating. He did not have any explosives or weapons in the car, but they are calling this an act of terror.
Yeah, he's a terrible terrorist, which is great. Only people were minorly injured, and, we all want them to be better. But, terrorists with these cars that they're doing these days, remember the truck in Nice, France, killed 81 people, if memory serves. If not, certainly a whole bunch of people. And it makes you wonder, how is that possible? As a big rig, don't you just get out of the way? But no, they pile in at 80 miles an hour or whatever, and, the low-tech way of being a terrorist is getting way too popular for me.
And shopping. Danny, you love a good shopping mall.
I love a good mall.
Well, you drive in, you find a good parking spot, and then you hope a sinkhole doesn't swallow your car while you're inside shopping.
That's what I do.
That's exactly. I was taking exception to what you're saying when you said I found a good parking space. That never happens. But then the sinkhole, that's a big deal.
Well, in New Jersey, there's a shopping mall.
Isn't all of New Jersey just one big sinkhole?
No, it's one big shopping mall. A lot of malls in New Jersey, but they are monitoring a growing sinkhole that showed up on Friday, trapping several cars. And they said overnight it grew. They do say, though, they set up a safety perimeter and all the shops are still open for business.
Wow, and is it the kind the cars fall into?
The sinkhole isn't as deep as the one that, say, swallowed all the Corvettes at that museum.
That's what I was thinking about. Exactly, Sarah. That's exactly what I was thinking about.
But they have sunk enough that they cannot drive out, and it's not safe enough for a tow truck to go pull them out. So there are about 6 cars just kind of sitting there, a couple of feet below where they should be.
My first thing that I would think is, am I insured for sinkholes? This is one of those weird things.
Right.
It turns out your house gets flooded. It turns out you're not insured for water damage. Almost it turns out nobody is. I would definitely think, is Flo going to cover my policy in a sinkhole?
She should. A terrible story making news. Utah man got into an altercation with his wife. They had been drinking and arguing, and the neighbors called police and said he's assaulting his wife. He was booked into jail for suspicion of domestic violence. He posted bail and then hours later went to the small airport in his town in Utah, took an airplane belonging to his boss. He is an experienced pilot with a pilot's license, got into a twin-engine Cessna, crashed it into his own house where he perished.
Oh,
That guy meant business, though.
yeah.
Yep.
What
Now,
about
was
the
anybody
wife?
else killed? Was
Nope.
anybody else killed? Right.
Wife's okay.
Okay, then in that case, I kind of admire him.
I mean, I guess it's somewhat similar to what we had happen here at SeaTac, a bigger plane and not crashing into a house, but the guy took it up by himself and with the intent to commit suicide.
Yeah. Well, you wonder with this case, was he trying to take out his wife?
Yeah.
So
I would think he's trying to make a statement. Remember, I'm not sure if we reported on it or I just read it. Anybody remember where a guy was getting a divorce and chopped his whole house in half?
Yeah.
With a big saw.
I do remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, people, when when I was getting a divorce, I did not plan any kind of future that went nicely for the woman I was divorcing. People get upset in a divorce.
yeah, all you got to do is call Rick Jones. It'll all work out.
He'll tell you, don't crash a plane into your house.
Yep.
Do we know the guy that took off from SeaTac? Do we know for a fact that his intent was suicide?
I mean,
Did he leave a note?
it certainly seems that way. He did not leave a note to my knowledge, but it certainly seems that way. His intent.
'Cause I'm curious about that guy.
Well, and I think everybody is, but the authorities have not said anything about leaving a note or any other evidence behind that this came out of nowhere.
Okey-dokey.
Another terrible story, this time out of Colorado. A family is in mourning after an unwanted house guest arrived and it ended in bloodshed. Kayla Slaughter says her roommate returned home at night to find a mountain lion in their living room.
Okay, before we get to the good parts where I talk about what animal I would fight,
Yes.
would you willingly move in with somebody named Slaughter?
I would certainly expect a bloodbath at some point if I'm moving in with somebody named Slaughter.
Yeah, it just seems that now there's a mountain lion in the house, right?
Yes.
All right, by the way, I would like to rescind my invitation to fight cougars.
Okay.
Turns out I was wrong.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's not like they didn't do anything to me. I'll punch them if they're not looking. But I had no idea they were as big as they are.
But still a baby cougar. You'd fight a baby cougar, right?
Will you stop trying to get him to fight animals, Paul?
She's
Okay.
right, Paul. You're a terrible person. You know I'm unhinged, and I would do anything to impress.
So Slaughter's roommate comes home, and there's the mountain lion. Looked right at her, licked its lips, so she panics, backs out, and closes the door and calls the cops.
Right.
Well, they believe that the mountain lion snuck in through an open window, pushed a screen in. They said thankfully no other humans were inside, but their kitty cat Klondike
Oh, my God. I was thinking, well, where's the bloodbath you were promising me? And now there's a kitty.
Yep, it ate the cat.
It ate the kitty?
It ate the cat.
All
Well,
right,
then
I take it back. I take back my take back. I will fight that mountain lion for eating that kitty.
They named the cat Klondike. Everybody would eat a Klondike bar, right?
Yeah. What would you do for a Klondike? Well, I'd come through the window and eat it.
Oh. Things did not go well for a man frequenting a fast food restaurant in Montana. He went into a fast food restaurant and asked for a water cup, got the water cup, went over to the soda machine and tried to fill it up with soda.
Oh, you can't do that. Cheater, liar.
Ooh. Well, the employee on site said, you're going to have to pay for that. You can't fill up a water cup with soda. And he did not like being told that, so he tried to kick the employee. Police arrived at the scene, and he was hiding in the bathroom. They tried to enter the bathroom. He was then trying to kick them. So what do you think they did?
Tased them.
You got it, my friend.
Oh, I'm so happy.
Zap, zap, zap. I got to work on my taser impression.
If we're gonna
Plus,
take
you
that
did
out
it
of
3
you.
times. I think that's excessive.
Zap, zap, zap. That's too many?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's too many.
He has been arrested and booked on resisting arrest, criminal trespass, disorderly conduct, zap, zap, zap.
And theft.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Stealing a
Theft of
glass of
soda.
Sprite.
Can't do that.
You can do lemonade though, right?
No, you
No
can't.
water cup.
Whatever it is, that Sarah specifically said he got a water cup.
Yeah.
If he'd have done anything else, he could have put other stuff in it, but he got specifically the water cup.
Yeah, but I get that. But I do like mostly water and then just a little bit of the lemonade. That's all right.
You thief.
It's like if they had lemon wedges out. It's basically the same thing.
Okay, you know what I do?
What?
I put my lips to the thing and push the button, and then I leave.
On to India. An elderly man was not feeling well for quite a while and did not want to go to the doctor because for some reason, boys are stupid. And a lot of times you don't feel well and you're afraid to go to the doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's right.
Well, this dude was too afraid to go to the doctor. He said the pain had developed 12 months prior and the pain had developed in his Hoosits area.
Oh, we go right to
Really?
the doctor when the Hoosits hurts, right?
Yeah, you put the Hoosits in jeopardy. We're calling an ambulance.
Well, this was some sort of wound, and it developed into an ulcer. He still didn't know what to do about it, and next thing he knew, it fell off.
Ulcer or the
Paul's
Hoosits?
face.
Oh my God. It fell off?
You
That's-
think I just stabbed Paul?
That's something that can happen? It can just fall
Yeah.
off?
No, your Hoosits can fall off.
Oh.
For example, if you attend an imaginary tea party, your Hoosits going to fall off.
Wow, I didn't
That was
never
quite
even
a reach around.
I never well, yeah, it was. I never even mentioned that imagined that was a possibility that it could just fall off.
It fell off.
I cannot tell you how many times, and I'll clean this up, but 12 different times in my life I've been told, ooh, your Hoosits going to fall off. They were always lying and trying to scare me and stuff, but it's a danger we all face, Paul, except the ones without a Hoosits.
Well, let this be a lesson to you people who are afraid of going to the doctor. If you have pain in the Hoosits, go or it'll fall off.
Okay, first of all,
Yeah.
what do you mean you people? But secondly,
Totally, what do you mean you people?
We absolutely go to the doctor if our Hoosits hurts.
Okay.
But if anything in the back hurts, we hide.
Yes.
I'm not going to go see that guy. I was just serious biz. I was just supposed to go see that guy. And I said, no, I'm not seeing that guy. I'm pretty sure I'm fine. I don't know why I pee all night.
There's a criminal who is wanted by the St. Louis police, and there's not a lot of information about her. It's more the posting from the police department that is garnering national attention. Now, police said they're looking for this woman, and they posted her picture. They describe her as a white female with a thin build and blonde hair, but
All right.
her age, they say, too old to be wearing Aeropostale.
Oh, the brand that's like for teeny boppers?
Yeah, Aeropostale.
Aeropostale. The one.
No, I've never even heard of this thing, but it's not Aeropostale.
No, but you could call it that.
Say it again, Tori.
All right, I will.
Aeropostale.
Aeropostale. Well, apparently it's something that the kids wear, and this woman looks to be in her 60s, and the cops describe her as white, thin, and too old to be wearing Aeropostale.
And
Did I
why
say it right
is
that
that
time?
getting?
Correct.
Why is that getting national news? Is it because they shouldn't have said that?
The cops are describing her age as too old to be wearing a certain brand. That's
Are
the
they right?
cops.
Yeah, they're probably right about it.
I think they're probably right.
Well,
I mean, the one of us that jumped out was you and Tori, the two youngsters on the show. You knew what it was and everything. I'm betting this lady's too old to wear it.
yeah, I mean, there was a time, Danny, where you were wearing some clothes that people said maybe you shouldn't have been wearing.
Dude, not that terribly long ago, I had bedazzled jeans and crazy boots. I miss the boots. But yeah, I was dressing at 50. I was going to say I was dressing like I was 30, but no, 20-something. And 20-something if I had no taste. No grown man should have worn the clothes I was wearing.
You were pretty Ed Hardy-tastic.
I was out of control. Thank you. That's exactly what I was wearing, Ed Hardy. But when I took off those stupid shirts, I had 6-pack abs. My pecs would bounce. I was feeling pretty good about myself that year.
You had no belly button.
I did. I had no belly button.
Your pecs don't bounce now, Danny?
Well, yes, they do, but not voluntarily.
Definitely.
Most people say they would never forget their wedding day. And that's certainly for the case for the pair of newlyweds in this story out of New Jersey. I told you earlier in the show there have been a lot of really bad flooding situations across our country. In New Jersey, all of a sudden after their wedding, there were torrential downpours and the roadways got flooded.
Isn't that good luck?
When it rains on your wedding day, I don't know about flood on your wedding day.
Isn't it ironic?
Don't you think? So they were leaving their wedding, and they had to escape their vehicle through the roof of their car, and she's wearing her wedding dress. He's in a tux, and they're images of these newlyweds escaping a flood, climbing across rooftops to the cops waiting for them to rescue them.
One of two things. One, shenanigans. Two, nobody remembers their wedding day. Well, no boys do. I don't know what girls do at their time. But everybody's going to remember that. Remember? And then the flood came, and then we climbed out the roof, you in your wedding dress, and then the internet went crazy. I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, your wedding pictures are certainly much more exciting than everybody else's.
Absolutely.
That's true. 3 men led police on a dangerous pursuit for no clear reason. They were running red lights, and the cops started to trail them. And then they eventually ditched their car and ran away on foot. Well, a helicopter was eventually called to the scene, and cops said, "We have no idea why they're fleeing."
They're not wanted. They're not in a stolen car. They're just...
Well, originally, right, this 4 p.m, and this Honda Civic sees the patrol car and starts driving like maniacs. And the cops are like, okay, don't know why they're driving like that. Let's go get them.
Yeah, sure.
They freak out, running the red lights. They stop the car. They flee on foot. And the cops said, "We have no idea why they're running, but clearly they're doing something illegal, so we followed." Turns out it was a stolen car.
Oh, but the cops didn't know at first.
Nope.
They figured it out because of your actions.
Exactly. Glad you figured that one out.
Dumb criminals.
So I'm still the slightest bit lost, to be honest with you. So it was a stolen car.
Yes, but they were driving erratically. The cops had no idea it was stolen until they fled and ran red lights, pulled the car over, and ran away on foot.
Yeah. Okay. By the way, all of those things a major commitment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, now they're committed to serving time behind bars.
They deserve it.
Chopping off pinkies?
No, jail.
okay.
Calm down. There's like one guy deserve, and it wasn't a pinky. You're inventing pinkies. I was hacking an arm off, and then I went down to a hand because I felt I was being mean.
We can still tase them, though, right?
Oh, yeah, you can tase almost anybody. Anybody over 7.
Zap, zap, zap.
Buzz, buzz, buzz.
Right. How old is Jelly Bean?
7.
Yeah, tell her to be very funny tomorrow.
We are going to be right back with music news, entertainment, and sports, so stay right here. Yesterday, the city council voted to at least temporarily save the Showbox Theater. They approved a measure, an 8-0 vote, to include the Showbox in Pike Place Market's historic district. This will temporarily stop plans to construct a 44-story building on this site by a Vancouver, British Columbia development company. Now they've got 10 months to come up with a solid plan to save the Showbox. Now, this has been a venue for 80 years now, has had all sorts of different types of acts, including Duke Ellington back in the day.
Yay.
And this group trying to save the Showbox is led by Duff McKagan from GNR, Macklemore, and Mike McCready from Pearl Jam.
You know, the 8-0 it's the city council that voted. Is that what they're called?
Yep.
All right. The city council votes 8-0 to save the Showbox. No, I'm all for saving the Showbox if that's the best thing for the city. But I kind of feel like you should poll those guys and see which one the last time they went to a show at the Showbox was. And if they've never been to a show at the Showbox, they don't get to vote.
A lot of people this week have been speculating about one of the greatest voices in all of rock and roll. Is he poised to make a major announcement? Is he poised to make a comeback? We're talking about Steve Perry of the band Journey.
Wow.
Now, something happened, which is why people are talking about this. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all of these new accounts linked to steveperry.com. And the words, there's a phrase on there that says, I know it's been a long time coming.
Oh,
.. So everybody's super
Doesn't anybody
excited.
just speak words anymore? Can't he just say, hey, by the way, I'm going to be on the road. I sing. I don't know if you noticed this, but I'm a good little singer.
You want to draw the eyeballs before you make the announcement. So he's got to have everybody looking at him, wondering what's going on. And then he'll say, I'm back, baby.
Yeah, everybody is super excited. And we'll
About
find
what?
out. New music from Steve Perry.
I'd be
No,
excited
they're
about
not.
that.
They're excited about the hopes of new music from Steve Perry, right?
Yeah.
Well, he did say a few months ago that he was thinking about putting out a record because of the death of his girlfriend. He said it was obviously a very traumatic experience, and he started writing, and it was cathartic, and he was, going through something emotional. So we got the tease back then, but when he opened up all the social media, we're thinking, all right, major announcement is happening this week from Steve Perry.
Well, I am more interested than I may have let on. I don't like being teased. I like knowing. But I'll tell you, if he put out an album, I'd go get it.
Me too. I'm going to be first in line. I'm super excited. American Idol auditions are coming to Bellevue on August 31st. Open call auditions will be at the Maidenbauer Center on Northeast 6th Street. You can do some online auditioning now, and then you submit it through the American Idol website, but you can also register to take part in live auditions in Bellevue.
Didn't they cancel the part of the show? Sorry. Didn't they cancel the part of the show where they humiliate people that shouldn't be there?
Yeah, my favorite part of the show.
Every normal person's favorite part of the show. Why'd they do? Remember that guy, Asian dude, sang some song super badly?
William Hung.
Yeah, William Hung.
Yeah, that's it. Look at him. He's still a household name from Suckin'. I think they should bring that back.
You need to be 15 years old to audition. Bellevue American Idol, August 31st.
All right.
And a very timely announcement from the College of William and Mary. They've decided to rescind Bill Cosby's honorary degree.
Very timely. What was the degree in?
This was an honorary Master of Arts degree.
All right, so it's a MA.
It's an MA.
A ma.
An MA
Right.
is what the Masters in Arts is called. They gave it to him back in 1993, and they're like, well, looks like he's been convicted of sexual assault, so we are going to rescind it.
He has. He's been convicted. I know, even with all those witnesses, part of me said he didn't do it. He couldn't have done it, not Bill Cosby. But now he did it, man.
Yale, Northwestern, University of Pennsylvania, Temple, and now the College of William and Mary's all have rescinded.
Man, that guy went to a lot of colleges.
Yeah, he's a busy man. What if your honorary degree is in groping chicks that don't want it? Would you let him keep that one? Why would you have to take that away? I just don't know that it's a real class that anybody can major in.
Earlier in the show, we talked about Mark Hamill having a new role. What was the name of the show? Night Hawk?
Stalker.
Night Hook? Night?
Oh,
Night-
what was it?
Nightfall.
Night Rider. No, that's not it.
Night Ranger.
Nightfall, Derek?
Nightfall with
Yes.
a K.
Nightfall.
Nightfall.
Jordan Knight.
Derek, are you watching Nightfall?
Never seen it.
Okay, you just have a good memory. One of our texters said it was a good show.
Yeah, they did say it was a good show.
I'm interested. It just got renewed. Mark Hamill will be joining that show, but we're also finding out he sent out. He's very active on Twitter and on social media. Mark Hamill disclosed something very interesting on Twitter. He said, when Arnold Schwarzenegger was first starting out, he asked me for some advice. I told him, this is Mark Hamill talking to Arnold Schwarzenegger, I told him to lose his accent for a wider range of roles and to change his last name since no one could pronounce it. Luckily, Arnold didn't listen.
I'll be back.
I don't know. I don't know that it's luckily. Luckily, he got a great career with those exact same stumbling blocks. That's fine advice. Don't have a deep Austrian accent. Hey, Paul, if I had to say, if I said name a famous Austrian, who would it be?
Hitler.
Right. So who wants that? Who's got that voice running around?
Yeah.
So you don't want that. And Schwarzenegger, I'm uncomfortable every time I say it. I think it's sound advice. Lose the accent, lose the wacky name. You're not a star yet. So what the real luck is that he was able to become a dynasty with all those drawbacks.
Well, and Arnold Schwarzenegger said, he tweeted back, he said, I understood your advice at the time. And he said, your advice was totally correct. Under any normal circumstances, those were the rules. I just happened to be a rule breaker.
Hasta la vista, baby.
So I like the Austrian accent speaking Spanish. It just keeps getting better. But so he generally agrees with me that was really good advice. He just was able to work around it.
Yeah. And in the WWE, we've had reports of a lot of deaths over the past, 3 or 4 weeks. I feel like we've lost a ton.
Yeah.
And people not old enough to go, if you ask me.
A lot of young folks. And now we've lost another. Jim, Derek, is this Neidhart or Neidhart?
Yeah, Neidhart.
Jim Neidhart.
The Anvil. Jim the Anvil Neidhart, yeah.
The Anvil. 24-year pro wrestling career under the name The Anvil, has died at the age of 63.
See, 20 years too young in today's world.
Yeah.
That guy could have lived. Everybody's living to be 83. So the question then for me is it the beating and the concussions that he gets? Because they take a bigger beating than almost anybody because they do it again the next night and the next night. Or is it all the steroids that you take to compete in that wrestling world? I wonder which killed him. So here's what I recommend. Let's stay away from both of them.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Well, also
Thank you.
6'2" and 280 pounds. You know, you're going to do more wear and tear on your body when you're that big.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at sports.
Sports
Brought to you by Bradley Johnson Attorneys. If you're facing a DUI, call 1-800-DUI-AWAY. That's 1-800-DUI-AWAY. The Mariners last night playing the Oakland Athletics. We're losing. And all of a sudden it's 7-6 and they lost.
Yeah.
What a tease.
It was really close even there at the end. We had a base runner on third, and we just couldn't get him in to tie it up.
Well, and we know Robinson Cano is back tonight. We do not know where he's going to be in the starting lineup. We're waiting for an update on the health.
D. Gordon, his shoulder.
Gordon.
He didn't play last night. From last I heard, they expected that he would not play tonight and that Cano would slot in at second base.
Well, I mean, it's great that Cano is back, but D. Gordon has been just phenomenal for the team.
Fantastic, yeah.
His bat, his energy, his base stealing abilities. Well, we'll turn it around tonight. Playing the Oakland Athletics again. First pitch, 7:05. James Paxton. Oakland sends out Mike Fiers. Seahawks and Oakland are playing a game in London this fall, October 14th, but they have decided to move the venue. Tottenham Stadium will not be finished in time. Therefore, the game is moving to Wembley. I don't know the distance between the two, and I cannot imagine that 12s that are going over for this game are going to be affected too much, but just don't show up at Tottenham.
The distance is 7,000 miles more than I'm willing to travel for a game.
Bud Light, Dilly Dilly.
Dilly.
That's funny. The second you say that, I have a visual impression. That is a good campaign. Who'd have thought that? I thought it was stupid when I first saw it.
Oh, very, very funny. Well, Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light, it's the official beer of the NFL, and they are trying to do something a little bit unconventional when it comes to the Cleveland Browns.
Win?
What?
Win?
Well, that's the point. When the Cleveland Browns win their first regular season game, fans will get free beer.
Fans at the game or fans anywhere?
Any bar that is participating in this in Cleveland. So they are placing refrigerators called Victory Fridges inside Cleveland area bars. And then the second they win, everybody gets a free beer.
Oh, I like it.
So the way this is going to work, it's pretty smart. It's these refrigerators are locked. You cannot get that beer out of the refrigerator until they unlock it digitally, and then all the beer inside is free.
Oh, wow.
I like it. I think it's a very clever promotion. Remember, what did they steal a base, steal a taco?
Yeah.
That was pretty good, but this sounds even better.
And if they would have done this last season, they would have saved all that beer, too.
Well, I was wondering about that. What are the odds of the Browns going winless again this whole year?
It seemed highly unlikely that anybody could go winless. And last season, the Browns did it, so...
It's typically unlikely, and I would think for them to keep losing. I mean, Derek, can you pull up the Browns' schedule? There's got to be somebody
worse than the Cleveland Browns?
Yeah.
I think they're saying we hope there's somebody worse than the Cleveland Browns.
How are you going to find that out if they were winless last year? So are you just going to go back in history?
No, you know some of the changes. You know some of the quarterbacks who are not playing, or somebody who's got a rookie. You know, if say, who's supposed to be terrible this year? Say Miami, and the first game of the season against the Browns is Miami, then maybe they've got a chance. If the first game of the season is the Seahawks or the Patriots, they're not winning.
They're going to face
nice grouping there.
The Jets, the Buccaneers, the Bengals. There's a few games they could win.
Yeah, all right. All of a sudden, I'm rooting for the Browns.
Go Browns
Yeah.
because of the free beer, yeah.
For the free beer. I don't even drink beer, but I think it's cool.
We talked yesterday about Tiger Woods. He came in second, had one of his best golf outings ever. And turns out everybody is rooting for Tiger Woods. There was a almost 70% increase in the ratings for this PGA Championship, the same one over last year. Almost
wow, that is an
70%.
amazing bump.
Yep. And it's all because people were watching and rooting for Tiger Woods. Now that golf's final major of the year is in the books, they are now looking at 2019. No more majors this year. And Vegas says, looking at who they think is going to be top is Jordan Spieth, but Tiger Woods is in the top 3 of people who are expected to do the best next year.
That's huge.
You know, I don't care about golf. I've given it a try. It's a very hard game. I admire all these guys that are good at it. But I don't know why I'm rooting for Tiger Woods. But he's a super gazillionaire. He's got his second super hot wife. He's just not a character you go, oh, please go further in life. But I want him to win.
Yeah, and I thought his behavior was reprehensible, cheating on his wife, having 2 young kids, and he was into some pretty creepy porn stuff. And yet I'm still rooting for him.
You know, all that other stuff can be explained.
Yeah. How so?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Well, I just mean a guy, he's not the only guy cheating on his wife.
Oh, right, yeah.
Just 'cause,
certainly not the only professional athlete on the road.
Well, most certainly. Kobe Bryant called and wants his whole deal back.
Yeah.
But, if you look at my porn history, and I don't think you should, there's some really weird stuff on there.
Yeah, I guess for some reason it's you watching it as opposed to him paying people and, doing it in real life as opposed to watching it. There's something a little creepy to me about Tiger Woods, yet I'm rooting for him.
Everybody roots for Tiger.
Sports brought to you by Bradley Johnson Attorneys. If you're facing a DUI, call 1-800-DUI-AWAY. That's 1-800-DUI-AWAY. Another big show planned for tomorrow, giving you a chance to win tickets to the Boeing Classic at Snoqualmie Ridge at 7:20. And at 7:50, Paul's adorable daughter, Jelly Bean, joins us with her joke of the week.
Well, there you have it. Hey, I'll tell you a little something, a secret, because you guys are kind enough to call up this radio show a couple of times a day, and we really like it. So now I think the least I can do is give you some of what got me through the radio days, and that is this. Here's an expression you should always remember if you want to be on the radio, and that is, if it's good, it's good. If it's great, it's Slayton. Steve Slayton coming up right up, ladies and gentlemen. We should get out of his way. Bye.